Hey, happy Friday. Welcome to Pop Up Stage right here on AFO Radio. How's it going? It's a very wet Friday on my end. I don't know how's it like for you. Hey, Darren,
Yeah?
is it raining? Is it hot? I don't
I don't
know.
know. Did it rain? Because I have been in my room all morning, so I didn't even realize. And even if it did rain, I wouldn't have heard it because, my room, like everything's just like padded and stuff. Of course, you can't see it, like right now you can see the wall. Some of the foam have already fallen off. But, on the front side, it's kind of padded. So, and my room is in the middle of the house. Right, it's
Okay.
between the hall and the wet kitchen, so it's kind of, I don't know. I haven't heard anything. So, but
Technically,
if
it's
it
bedded
did,
either way.
yeah, but if it did rain, it's good because then I wouldn't have to water my plants today, and
Look at
I got
that.
natural rain.
He had assistance by Mother Nature today to
Exactly,
water his
exactly.
plants. Well, if you're joining
Yeah.
us, welcome to Pop Up Stage. I am Meg, and that's of course Darren Tay from An Honest Mistake. We're hosts for Pop Up Stage every Friday
Woo.
from 12 to 1, where we bring you some of the latest tracks released by Malaysian artists, and every once in a while we take a look at tracks that have been released regional as well. So to kick off the show, as always, we've got bulletin board, and what do we have on the bulletin board today?
Wow. On our bulletin board today, we have a couple of new tracks, and some of which are kind of cool that we should all, check out. But first, let's kick it off with this. Okay, this is the track dropped a couple of days ago, actually, not today, but a couple of days ago, and it's finally out on all streaming platforms because a video came out first. So this is Joe Flizzo, Hulera, and Bunga with their track called Kena Check. All right, let's check it out. All right, I'm gonna play somewhere in the middle.
Style go out, tak beli. They wanna be me cause I'm real, yeah. Awet korang spiriti, lepas tu tak nak cuci. Bukan lu nyebalaci, takkan pernah boleh gari. Yeah, I got the keys, tak lirik plus diri key. All these rappers wanna be ni cara gua masih fix. Only show the real me, don't know how to fake it. Ramai tak puas hati but they don't wanna say it. Look at me now, I'm confident, loud and vibrant. Me not get it on the track, you know how it is. Hey, good vibes on a living lavish. Keep it 100, that's my average.
Yeah, that's a really cool track. I mean, like Hulera just rapping away, and I think it's cool to feature. I mean, like for Joe Flizzo, somebody who's pretty much like the president and the king of hip hop in Malaysia, to play that track, So I mean, to have them on the track, I think it's cool. But
Definitely.
yeah. So there's
Nice one. I'm
another.
just curious. Is it under a label?
I would think so.
Think so.
They signed it to Warner. So
Okay.
to Universal. No, to Universal.
It has to be
So-
under Universal because Joe Flizzo is, of course,
Yeah,
under Def Jam,
yeah,
right? He
that's
is the
true.
main person in Def Jam, so it's got to be under
Yeah.
Universal. So yeah.
But I know Bunga is a Warner artist, so I'm not sure how that worked out. But at the end of the day, it's cool. To have all these artists on board.
But I think it brings it down to what we were talking about throughout the whole year this year, which is collaboration, regardless of the record labels that you may be or the genres that you delve in or you prefer. Collaboration actually makes things happen better.
Yep, that's true. So this next track that we're gonna play, let's check this one out. Okay, this is another like R&B hip hop ish track. It's by B Slick and Heat Lab. Okay, so B Slick is the rebranded Brandon.
Former member.
Yeah, former member of Back to Basics, and he took a long break, focusing on work and stuff, and now he's gotten back into it, and this is a brand new track. Let's check it out.
I'm falling down, down, down.
Hey G, you okay?
Come with me.
I'm falling. I tried so hard. I'm falling. Try so hard to get up, I'm falling. I don't wanna give up, though they put me down, drag me down, down, down. I'm falling, I tried so hard, I'm falling. Try so hard to get up, I'm falling. I don't wanna give up, though they put me down, drag me down, down, down. Down, down, down. They drag me down, down, down. Down, down, down. Down. I'm on the ground. I look around and found there is nobody around in the split.
Yeah. It's it's a little bit different from Back to Basics, but I think it's cool. Because it's just got this whole new vibe to it as well.
It's very R&B, right? I mean,
Yeah, very R&B. Yeah, and the
very
thing
R&B.
is, like when he was with the band, you could never really hear his voice that much. I mean, because everybody takes. They have a chance to
Range,
shine, right?
yeah.
But I feel that, Brandon was kind of like sidelined a little bit. But yeah, this is a cool track, I definitely want to see more and hear more of that,
Interesting that
stuff.
you should say so, though. I always thought that Brendan had the most limelight
parts.
because he had a very wide range, vocal range. So he could hit really high notes and
Yeah.
yeah. So I always thought, I always thought differently, I guess.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I mean, it's still a good track anyway, so, good job, Brendan. Let's check this next one out, okay? This is by a new artist. I mean, like, he was telling me about how he had his band, and then, it's just so difficult to do the band together with, while being in the pandemic and all that stuff, and, he just wanted to experiment doing some of his solo stuff. So this is actually, something that he just put out is called Astralis. And the name of the artist is called Nair. So it's NA1R. Let's check it out. It's quite long. It's like a 5-minute song.
Revealed by the stars. As you can tell by what I said, I really, really like it.
Yeah, I got some. Anyway, you ready?
One second. Yeah, let's go.
What a long intro.
She sits across in the candlelight. The knot in my stomach gets waiting inside. Can you hear what she says? She's so pretty in my eyes.
Yeah, I mean it's a little bit lo-fi-ish. Very garage sounding. Yeah. So I would have liked it better if the song went in straight, rather than to have that long 1 minute kind of like interlude prior to the song starting. But
I think it
to
was
each-
interesting that he had so many elements in the
Yeah.
beginning. But
Yeah.
you are right in terms of let's keep it short and then pick
Yeah.
up. It would have had a better impact. to
Yeah.
it.
I mean, like, if it's an album version, of course you can have like all that, but probably just split the track up, into two. So, yeah. But it's still a good song. So, yeah, let's check the next one out. This one's quite cool. I mean, super lo-fi. I had received something from like her management, and it sounded quite cool. So, and the track just dropped today. So let's check it out. It's called Full Goth and All Love. So it's like a dual artist thing. It's called Bleach Blonde Pixie Cut. Let's check it out.
can't be the
It's got this like Billie Eilish weird sounding vibe.
brown hair, but I got tan skin and bleach blonde pixie cut. You like the girls with natural beauty. I don't look good without makeup on me. I don't know how I'm supposed to compete with all the girls that you might see. You told me don't I cut my hair. Told me don't I cut my hair. You told me don't I agree. Told me don't I agree. Guess what? I don't care. Guess what?
Yeah, cool. It's such a cool track, you know. I mean, like it's so literal with the lyrics, you know. And
Yeah, I wanted to know where she was going with it.
yeah.
Like, you told me not to cut my hair, did not bleach it green, and then what else, you know? So now I have to go and listen to that track.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like it is crazy, like the amount of music that, you know, Malaysians have been putting out, and how creative they have become. Because in the past, you know, everybody, you know, it was the grunge era and everybody just made similar sounding tracks. And then after that, it was, you know, like the metal era, and a lot of bands just kind of like ended up making the same sound. And you know, right now there's pretty much like no genres whatsoever. Everybody's just doing everything. Like you can see, like even a pop artist like Olivia Rodrigo, you know, like she put out a track you know, that blew up. You know, it was like a pop you know, like a slow pop track, you know, with Driver's License, right? And then after that, you know, when Good For You came out, everybody's like, wow, you know, she can do rock also, you know. So, you know, everybody's just very genre fluid now, and I think that's the beauty of making music in 2021. And yeah, that being said, you know, if you guys don't know yet, I also dropped a track last week. It's called All Over Again, and you know, even that also we're trying to just mash different sounds together as well. So, you know, 2021, man. But yeah, cool. So that's it for pop-up you know, our
Bulletin board.
pop-up stage bulletin board today. We've got more music for sure, and it's all in a playlist that I've made called New Malaysian Releases. It's on Spotify. You know, right now there's 248 songs on there. So, you know, like I don't know how many hours that is, but you will have many hours to enjoy all these cool tracks. You know, put it on, follow that playlist.
Go on a road trip and listen to it. But right now, since we're restricted to no road trips or even crossing the next
Or you can
district.
just drive around in your taman for 8 hours lah. You know, I think that
Hey,
could make 8
petrol
hours.
free,
lah.
bro.
But yeah, so you know, if you guys wanna know what's up, you know, with the latest tracks and all that, you know, in Malaysia, go on, check it out, because I think by far that is the playlist that is as inclusive that it can get right now. A lot of other user playlists have their favorites and stuff, you know, but this is kind of like, of course, a user playlist that I've created, but it's for the community. But I didn't want to make it because there's an option as well on Spotify where you can make that playlist a community playlist, like full on, where other people can also add tracks and all that, you know. But I didn't want to do that because I want to have control and curate the tracks that go on there as well. So yeah. Anyway, we have a guest, and you know, as usual, every Friday we always bring on a guest, whether it could be a local artist or a regional artist. And this Friday, which is today, we have somebody really, really special. She's only 19, and she had you know, only recently started producing music, like a couple of months back in March. And now, you know, she's got her first track out, and we're gonna talk about that, and you know, find out a little bit more from her. Her track's called You Rain. Alright, so it's a really cool track. Let's find out more from her personally. Let's bring her on right now, Hana G.
Woo!
Hi everyone.
Hey, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
So you're only 19. Wow, I remember how it feels like to be 19. Do you, Darren?
I'm always 19. What are you talking about, Mac? I'm always 19, man. Except I just put on a little bit of weight lah. When I was 19, I think I was still skinny lah. Oh, I wish I would. I want to be 19 skinny again. But
19
age-wise,
skinny.
definitely I'm still 19.
Wow, okay.
That's nice.
Wait, 19 with a whole lot of experience, lah.
Yep.
So Hannah, you just dropped a new track and we are loving it. But just before we get into the track, tell us a little bit more about yourself.
About myself. Okay, so my full name is Hana G. I'll be turning 20 next month. So fast.
Yay.
Yeah. I'm starting to feel a bit old already.
Please, okay?
Hello, 20 is not old.
Okay, let me tell you a secret, okay? I'm gonna jump in. I know you're doing your introduction, okay? But people start to live only when they're 25. Alright?
Correct.
So when you're like 19, 20, 21, that's when you're figuring yourself out. And then when you finally have figured yourself out, you're about 23. And then at about 24, you get a real job. And 25, you're like, okay, like I kind of have something going already, And then you're like, okay, now I am an adult. Now I can feel a little bit old. But 20 is not old, man. You haven't even lived. But okay, go on.
Okay lah. Take it back lah. Okay lah. Still young lah. Okay. Okay. So what was I saying? Oh yeah.
You're going to turn 20 next month,
Okay.
yes?
2020. I'm an aspiring singer-songwriter. I'm also a voiceover and a jingle artist. So I do a few voiceovers here and there. Yeah, a lot of people ask me, am I mixed? I am. So my mom is Iban Eurasian. Down the line, there's a bit of I do have Chinese blood and a bit of Spanish as well. But my dad is Pakistani, so I'm a Roja.
So
She's
with
so
your name
blended, so
Gil,
nice.
does it mean that it's a Punjabi name?
Yeah, it's a Punjabi name.
Okay.
Gil.
Yeah, I figured
My
because
dad.
like back in the day there was this super popular MTV VJ. Her name is Asha Gill, and yeah, everybody's like, "Whoa, Asha," And then when I was 15, I joined an Adidas 3-on-3 basketball competition, and she was the host. And she signed my
Wow.
shirt. I was like, "Whoa, MTV
Oh my God, you're a
VJ signed my
fan.
shirt, man."
That's so cute.
Yeah. But are you gonna tell us that you're somehow related? Because
No.
you know
I wish, but no. I always think, do people who have the same surnames, like, are they somewhere related down the line or something?
I don't know. Probably,
Right.
Mac. I mean, you and your Kristang, family, it's like, oh, this one is my cousin's cousin. I don't know. Everybody's kind of like connected, right? Isn't that what they say?
I
Yeah,
think so. I heard
sometimes
that
you find
too.
out you're connected to every person that walks by. And you're like, no, I don't want to be related to that person. Okay, so
Yeah.
Hannah, where does this musical inspiration come from?
So my mom actually sings and she plays the guitar. My dad sings as well. And my mom told me that my great grandpa used to play the violin.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's like I did have a bit of a musical background, I guess, from them.
So do you play the violin too?
No, I want to. Not yet.
So earlier you told me that you're learning to play the ukulele. You're trying to make the ukulele like a violin, or just because they're both about the same size.
I have actually tried to play the ukulele like a violin. Shh, that's a
Oh my
secret.
goodness, that's like blasphemy to the violin.
No lah. Yeah, but like the ukulele is like so cute. It's like so small. It is about the same size as a violin, I think. Could it be? I think so. Yeah, so I also, besides the ukulele, I also play the piano and the guitar.
Okay.
Very nice.
That my favorite. Yeah, I love playing both, and of course my ukulele. They all have names.
you've named your instruments.
I
Oh,
do,
that's
I
so
name
cool.
it.
Okay, tell us what are their names. They're like
So
your
I
babies.
have, yeah, they're my babies. So I have five. I have two pianos, two guitars, and one ukulele. So my acoustic piano, her name is Belle.
Okay.
Belle.
My digital one is Austin.
Okay.
Oh, must have
My-
boy and girl lah.
Yeah. My first acoustic guitar is Scout. And
Okay.
the second one, because we bought like a jumbo guitar, so his name is Jumbo now. And my ukulele is Gloria. So yeah, they all have names.
Oh,
Cool. Was it intentional, like to have names? Because I mean, I know a lot of guitarists and like musicians, they like to name their guitars, but I just never got to naming any of mine.
really, Darren? Not
Yeah.
even a single one?
Yeah,
Are
like
you sure?
like yeah, that's true. Like for example, I have my silver one, my gold one, and then the white one. Okay, these are the three
You
of the
named it
same.
by colors.
Yeah,
Yeah, you did.
but these are the three of the same kinds.
Okay.
You know, I mean, same shape, just different color and configuration lah. You know, then I have one black one, which I call it by its name. I mean, like, it's a Gibson SG. You know, so SG is the name that I go with. So, I mean, the model, right? So I don't name it like, oh, this one is John. Yeah, maybe I'm just not that creative lah, or maybe I don't have that kind of crazy attachment in that sense. But I think it's cool, you know, for you to be able to name so cute in a way, because like your piano, one is Austin and the other
And
one
one
is
Belle.
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 Yeah, got boy name and girl name some more.
No, but I'm just curious about the inspiration behind the name though. When you look at it, do you see like, you know, Belle from Beauty and the Beast? Or, you know, do
Yeah,
you see
because
really?
my piano is quite so it's like a black piano, but it's kind of shiny in a sense. But whenever I look at it, right, when I first looked at it, like, right, I was like, okay, you're gonna be Belle because like you're so pretty and you're elegant. So I thought Belle is like an elegant name for that.
Oh,
So I just thought, okay,
wow.
Belle. Then I was playing like my second digital piano. Actually, my parents got it for me as a birthday gift. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna name you Austin because I don't know. I just looked at the color. It's a bit of a beige, silverish color. So I just looked at it and I'm like, Austin. I don't know. It just came because like I really love my instruments. Like I would hug them sometimes.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah, because I don't know. It's just this attachment that I have to my instruments because I spend so much time making music, and they like, you know, they become like my friends in a sense where I can release my emotion on like while playing them, and you know sometimes when you're writing songs and you like start to cry and all that. So it's like having a best friend but in an instrument form.
nice.
Does it sound weird?
No, I think there are a lot of people who are like that as well, because at the end of the day, that best friend of yours also helps to create, you know, masterpieces in the long run. So yeah, fair enough that they are your best friends, you know.
They
So
are.
you know, what have you created with these best friends of yours?
I've created so many songs on Austin, my digital piano, but on my guitar as well. I've created 2 songs that I haven't released yet that I want to plan to. But I've also created like, you know, not really songs without lyrics, like instrumental pieces on Belle. So they're just like different like champo kind of songs that just come out of nowhere. And you know, whenever I used to come back from school, right, I would straight away go to my piano. I'll drop my bags and I'll be like, okay, I'm coming, going to find my piano, and then I'll be playing, not knowing that it'll be 10 p.m. right, and my mom will be like, wait, your homework also never do yet. Then I'm like, never mind lah, no need to do lah. It's okay. I did do my homework. It's okay. I'm not good.
That's the beauty about
Yeah.
doing music, right? Sometimes you just get
Yeah.
lost and you just keep playing, you know. Now, half the time when I'm trying to write something on my guitar, and the worst thing to do is to lie down and play your guitar, because then after that I'll just fall asleep, you know, because it's kind
How
of
do you do
therapeutic, right?
that?
You know, play
Yeah,
until
I'm
fall
also
asleep.
trying to imagine how do you lie
How
down
do
and
you
play
do
your guitar.
that?
Yeah, lie down on the floor lah, or on the bed,
Oh.
you know, and play until you fall asleep. right?
Wow.
But when I'm like, working on music, like for example, I woke up at 4 a.m. this morning and I just couldn't sleep, right?
Wow.
And I just started working on some music stuff, and I was just editing, and up
Amazing.
till right before just we like went live, right? So sometimes I just get lost, like, oh, wow, time already, and
Yeah.
that's
But
what's
music
cool about
has
music.
that effect on anyone and everyone. It just takes you to places where you forget the rest of the world if you're like completely immersed in it. So
Yep,
I
that's
can
true.
only imagine for those of you who actually work with music and this is your life.
Yep.
So yeah.
But Meg, I reckon if you get a record player, like a vinyl player, do you have
Yeah.
one?
No.
If you
I
get
used to. I
Yeah,
used
if
to
you-
have one, I think, but I gave
Because
it
if
away.
you have a vinyl player, and with like decent sounding speakers and all that, I mean, and the listening experience is different. It's different
Yeah.
from listening on Spotify. I mean, on
Correct.
Spotify you can plug it to like a TV or whatever. But when you listen on vinyl, right? Because I don't own any vinyls. I think it's just way too expensive.
Yeah.
To purchase and to own the player itself. But
Correct.
my brother has a vinyl player in Melbourne where he lives, and when I was in his house a couple of years ago, and he had some of my favorite artists, but it's a rock like record, and when I heard it I was like, wow, this is different, man. So I just wanted to listen all day, so it's a different kind of thing, and you kind of get lost too, like my
Absolutely.
dad, gets lost listening to his CDs,
Yeah.
so yeah.
I do that too, but I have to agree. Listening on Spotify and listening to your CDs are like completely different experiences altogether.
Yeah.
I grew up in the 90s and we had cassettes. So we used to listen to cassettes, until it comes out and then you have to roll it back and then you move on to CDs. And that experience is just amazing. So, yeah, I can imagine. I mean, for a listener, and you getting lost in that moment, but for you guys as musicians, wow. So Hannah, at what age did you decide that you want to do music? This is the path that you're going to choose.
I think all my life I've just been very musical. Like I grew up also singing in church and then singing at competitions sometimes and in school choirs. Back in school we also had like competitions like action song competitions. So we'll go to like other schools and then we'll like sing all these like good old songs, and then I guess my inspiration came from there, and I started writing my own songs when I was 14. When I was 14, actually, my mom fell sick. We found out that she had cancer. So I guess a lot of the emotions and feelings that I was feeling then, I just, found a way to express them in my songs.
Nice.
And I guess from there, I wanted to start making music. Like, if I could make a song, I would really, it would be really great if this song, based on what I've been through, maybe this song could help someone else who's going through the same thing. So I thought of making music in that way, where I can, what can I give to people who are listening to my music? It's not so much of taking, it's more of giving. When people listen to my music, what can they take from it? So that's always been, my main motto. So whenever I make something, create something, what can people take from there?
I love that. You want to make sure that your listeners or whoever listens to your music can relate to you and
Yeah.
have somewhat of a journey with you as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're tuning in right now, welcome to
Yeah.
Pop Up
Have
Stage this afternoon. Somewhat of a journey with you as well, isn't it? Darren, is
Yeah.
it coming from you?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I accidentally clicked on the video.
Okay, so if you have a question for Hana G this afternoon, please drop it in your comment section below. Kevin says, rock record la, Darren Tay. Yes.
Yeah,
Darren
bro.
is rock all the way.
Yeah, it was an 80s metal band. Yeah.
Whew.
So Kevin is I mean, I knew Kevin
Kevin is
through
a
my
musical
brother who also is named Kevin as well. So Yeah. So Kevin Teixeira is a legendary bassist. He used to play in this band called
Absolutely.
Kings and Queens, and that was kind of like
Wow.
my first introduction to Malaysian indie stuff, because that was kind of like the first few bands that my brother hung out with and became friends with. So yeah.
Nice. Kevin also says, Until Cassette Rosa. Yes, Until Cassette Rosa.
Walkman
For sure.
Aiwa
And then we have to rewind the thing with the pencil.
with the pencil.
Jay says Walkman Iowa. Yes, we had the Walkmans and then we went on to the Discmans and then let's just say right now we rely on Spotify.
Yep, that's true.
Okay, Kevin says Darren no need to remind him of how old he is. Hannah, Kevin has a question for you.
Young
What was
forever.
the
Sure.
easiest step in making music for you personally?
Easiest step. You mean how I start writing music?
Possibly.
Easiest step.
Or the whole process rather.
So basically, writing the melody for me is the easiest part because it'll just come naturally. So when I sit at my piano, then I'll be like playing chords and all that, and suddenly I'm like, oh hey, this chord sounds nice. Let's see what we can throw in this, and then I'll be like finding a chord progression where it can move on from there. And then like, oh, okay, these lyrics will start coming in. So it depends on the chord that you're playing. If it's a happy chord, like a major chord, then the lyrics would be happy. But also major chords can also have some really sad songs as well.
Exactly.
But like driver's license is also in a major key, but it's quite sad.
Yeah.
Right. Then if you're playing a minor, then I'll just move on from there. See how I feel. I hope that answers your question.
Cool.
So Kevin, does that answer your question? If not, then yeah, drop in another
Another one.
question though. Darren, what were you gonna say?
No, I mean, I just wanted to ask more about this brand new song, because I think we've talked a little bit about her introduction and naming her instruments and stuff, and I think this song, yeah, I think this song is kind of cool, and we really want to know how it came about, because I know I had a chat with Hannah before saying that she's got like a bank of songs and this was one of them. So yeah,
I'm just
tell
curious
us.
though, is this your first single? I mean, is this your
it's my
first release?
single. My first release.
Oh, congratulations. Well done. So of course,
Thank you.
when did you drop the track?
August 22nd. I think it was about a week ago. Wow,
Okay.
it's been a
2
week.
weeks, about 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Yay, well
my goodness.
done.
I'm still like, oh my goodness, like it's actually out. I've been dreaming about
Okay,
this my whole
so
life.
Hannah dropped her single on the 22nd of August. It's called You Rain. Like Darren said, tell us more about the story behind the song.
So this song actually talks about God's goodness and of His magnificence and of His majesty. But the main thing behind the song is that no matter what you may be facing in your life, no matter what you may be going through in your life, this song is a good reminder that God is in control. And seeing what my mom is going through, especially after chemo, coming back, or hearing stories about what other people are going through in this difficult period of MCO and people having lost their jobs, and it is a good reminder that there is a God who loves you and who has good plans for you no matter what happens in your life, and that He's always going to take care of you, and that He is in control. The wind and the waves obey His command. If God can feed the ravens in the sky, how much more will He take care of you? So this song, this inspiration is just, no matter what you may be facing, God is there with you throughout, from the beginning until the end. So that is what this song is about, that God is in control.
Wow. Can I just say she just gave me goosebumps all over when she was talking about it.
Aww.
Yeah, I like the fact that like this track is not the regular like relationship stuff. Like like a lot of people have been putting out, like, oh, all the boys suck, and then the girl, then that's usually from a girl's point of view, right? Man sucks, whatever, and then like I'm better than you, there's a lot of content like that. I mean, I'm not shaming anybody, I'm just saying it, right? But there's just a lot of content that's not like the one that you've just put out, especially where it has something to do with faith and what you believe in. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
When I was writing the song and when I started songwriting, actually, I remember just having this one thing in my heart that I want to be different. I want my songs to be different. I want when people hear my song, I just pray that they'll be blessed by it, that they'll find hope in it, that when they listen to it, they don't feel alone, and that's the beautiful thing about music is actually sometimes music, you don't even need to have lyrics. It can just be an instrumental piece and then you'll just start bawling. Like, I was listening to an instrumental piece that day and it just touched me on another level, and I was just thinking like, hey, because most of the songs that I write are based on real experiences that have happened to me or to people that I read about, and I just draw my inspiration from there. And I just really have this thing in my heart where I hope that when people hear, they also really hear what I'm trying to say in the song, when they, not just the song but the lyrics, that when they read the lyrics, they'll find it relatable, and that they'll find like, hey, this person has gone through what I've gone through, but if she can come out of it, then so can I. That kind of thing.
Are most of your songs like, very faith oriented? Or I mean, like or could it be like, you're writing about a boy that you like, or something, like more general, or are they mostly like very faith and God centric?
I think it's 50-50, because I have a whole bank of songs that are a lot of about faith, and then I also have another bank of songs where it's all about boys, but not in a sense where I'm shading another boy, but it's a sense where if you're in love with someone, you have these mixed emotions, like you're scared to fall in love at the same time, but you're in love, so you just do it. So I have those kind of songs, and then I also have heartbreak songs where that I really hope to release next year. Just to give a little index, is about a toxic relationship. So I have songs about people coming out of a toxic relationship, songs about healing from a toxic relationship, songs about what do you do if you're in love, if you're scared to fall in love, how can you trust. And then I also have faith-based songs. So, and then I have a song dedicated to my grandma as well, to my mom. So my inspiration is, I think, quite wide. I don't just stick to one thing. I just like, whatever inspires me, I just write about it. I can even write a song about both of you.
Oh, I'm so worried what the outcome will be, whether it's going to be a good or a bad one.
Good.
Whenever people say I can write something about you, I'm like, do I want to take that risk?
You can write about my long hair lah.
Which comes easily though? I mean, which is easier to write? Something that is faith driven, or something that talks about boys or relationships, or things that you're going through? Which is easier for you to write, since you have a whole bank of songs?
Both.
So it really depends on the situation.
Yeah, it really depends. Like like after just sometimes I'll be like sitting down, and then I'll start to have these verses, or like these choruses, or these chord progressions, and then when I start to play, these lyrics will automatically come. So then I'll be like, oh, okay, this is a faith-based song. And sometimes when I'm playing on my guitar, oh, okay, this is a breakup song, or this is a love song. So it just really depends on the mood and what inspires me at that moment.
So how do you do it? I mean, do you do it instantly? Like suddenly, it just happened, and then you go in your room and write it? Or, do you have to process it? Does it take time? because like, okay, for myself, right, I'm not a songwriter, but if I want to write something, if I don't write it immediately, it's gonna go poof, and then the next time I cannot write about it anymore.
Yeah, I'm like you, Mac. I'm like you. If I have an idea, I must quickly record it. Voice note or type it somewhere. And I'm quite pissed off because like my phone like the other day restarted itself, and then it couldn't go into the actual phone itself, so it was stuck at the restart screen, and then I had to reset the whole thing, and now all my notes all gone, notes gone, and the app also cannot open now. So I'm man. Xiaomi.
This is what happens when we rely on our gadgets and technology.
No. It's not that we rely on gadgets, because gadgets are supposed to help us, right? It's because it's a Xiaomi phone. Now, not throwing shade on Xiaomi. I'm just saying that Xiaomi makes really good phones, and Xiaomi should actually sponsor me and all my band members, because all of us actually use Xiaomi. Yeah.
That was a smooth one, Darren.
Yeah, so Xiaomi, anybody from Xiaomi, anybody, please. Okay, I need a new phone. I'm still using the Pocophone F1. Okay, this is like few years ago already. Now got X3 and all these like crazy phones, right?
The Poco X3 is not too bad. My son uses it, and the camera is brilliant, though.
Yeah, exactly. Poco X3, right? So then there's the M3 and all that. You see, Xiaomi, I know all your models lah. I study already. Okay, I can be your ambassador. All right, but anyway.
Back to Hana.
Back to Hana, okay.
What's your process like? Do you write like immediately, or do you need to process it, once everything is like settled down? Because Kevin says, you can snap your fingers and then, automatically your song comes to mind. So what's your process like?
Actually, I have this little notebook where I write all my ideas and songs down. So sometimes, it can be while I'm in the car, or while I'm washing the dishes, or when I'm showering. All these lyrics will suddenly come, and then I'll start singing in the shower, and I'm like, oh, okay. Then I'll go and write. But there are some songs that has taken me like years to finish, because they're based they're based on this one incident, and this incident took like quite a few years. So I was like, okay, I can't finish this song. But after that incident was over, that song was finished. So it was kind of like the song was going through the process. So there are some songs where it takes like sometimes 3 years to write, because I just felt like it wasn't done yet. But then there are some songs where immediately I can finish it within like 10 minutes. Or there are some songs like, okay. Or there are some songs like, okay, you know what, my brain's getting tired, I'll finish it tomorrow. So it just really depends. Because sometimes you can get stuck at one point. Then I'll just like take a break. Or maybe that song was meant for someone else's ideas to come in. That's when collabs happen. So it really just depends.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. So, I mean, how long did You Rain take to, create?
Actually, it was done in a course which Darren and I joined back in April. It was a music production course by Creative Agency Asia. So it was like an Ableton crash course, is it? Yeah, it was an Ableton
Ableton crash course.
Yeah.
She asked you a question.
Yeah, why are you asking me the question like as if you didn't take the course?
You're supposed to help me, Darren. Okay,
But yeah, so that was an Ableton crash course, by the people from CAA, and made up of a couple of really interesting people. Meredith from Maverick Studios, she's one of them, and then also Hayes, who is a like popular DJ back in the day, but he's still putting out like music and stuff.
Amazing stuff.
So it was kind of like a thing, and we joined this course, and that's how I met Hana. But yeah, I think you can continue. So this was the homework, right?
Yeah, so in that, it was an 8-day course, and each day we had homework. So this song was actually my day 2 homework.
Okay,
My day 2 homework. And people were telling me, like even Darren was encouraging me. A lot of people were saying, you should release this song, you should put it out. Then I was like, okay, should I really go for it? And then I was talking to a few of my friends in that course, so they helped me. CA helped me to co-produce the song and finish it and polish it and just mix and master it and make it sound cleaner. So this song process I think took about 4 months to really finish it, because I also added a few harmonies, I added a few things. So we were really going slow with it because we wanted to make sure that every detail was all right. That, you know, the frequencies at the background, and like you compressed it right, you EQ'd it right. So when making a song, there's a lot to think about, right, Darren?
Yeah, that's why I that's why I only produce, but I don't mix, right? I let somebody else do it, because
Yeah.
you know, that's you know, like there's
Your
always a
specialty.
different person at every
Yeah.
stage of the process of, you know, making a song. So yeah.
But it's interesting though how from one course now you've
Yeah.
actually moved on to
Yeah.
releasing it as your first single.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
well done.
And at
Thank
19
you.
years old, you know, releasing a
Yeah.
track that you self-produce. I mean, doing it at home. I mean, when I started out, I was like 17, 18 too, you know, but the process was a little bit different, where I went to a recording studio, I wrote the song and stuff prior, you know, then we'll go to the recording studio and then record all the parts. Whereas now, you can just cucuk masuk your laptop and then, you know, you can start recording, you know, and that's the beauty of making
Technology.
music in 2021 and making music in a pandemic.
Yeah.
You know, you sit at home, nothing to do, what? You know, do lah.
Yeah. Yeah, we have so much time.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Now,
Yeah.
Kevin has a question for you, Joe. Hannah.
sure.
He's asking, who are some of your favorite singer-songwriters that have
Oh.
inspired you?
I really love Taylor Swift.
Okay.
I grew up listening to her, but I also love Ariana Grande and Selena Gomez. Who else do I love?
Yeah, you're 19. You grew up in that era.
I think they're like, because I used to listen to so many people. When people ask me this question, I have to like, because there's like a whole list of people. Who else?
Would you say Planet Shakers and
Yes, Planet Shakers
and
and
Hillsong and all
Hillsong.
that is kind of like your thing too?
Yes, Elevation as well.
Nice.
Maverick as well. Carrie Job. Who else? Yeah. And then there are a few like Punjabi singers that I really like as well.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Maybe you want to
like,
introduce us to some?
Yeah, I love to listen to Darshan Raval. He's really good. And Jubin Nautiyal, Vani Banushali, she's really good. Neha Kakar, she's really, really good. Arijit Singh as well. You
I
guys
love
can
how
check
the
them out.
fact that when it came down to Punjabi singers, she just gave us the list one after another, you know?
Yeah.
Before that, it's like Selena Gomez, Taylor Swift. I can't remember anymore.
So are all these artists based in? I mean, where are they based? And do they sing in in
Yeah,
Punjabi
they
or?
sing in Punjabi because you know I listen. My whole house is always like 24/7 filled with like all these Punjabi songs. That's why I know. My dad will play it on his TV, and then he'll be singing, and then like when I'm sleeping, it'll be in my head.
All right.
So they're all based in India. They sing for a lot of Hindi, like Bollywood movies,
Understood.
and some of them are on Indian Idol as well. So why I like their songs is because Punjabi songs are really meaningful. Like when my dad translates the lyrics, it's really, really sad and heartbreaking. So I like their artistry, and I like the way they pen those emotions down. So I listen mostly, and it kind of hits to home. I think because my dad is like Pakistani, so whenever I listen to Punjabi music, I just feel so at peace. I think it's just me.
So she's got so much of influence around her.
Yeah.
So, you know, it kind of explains why she's super talented. Kevin says at 19, he was trying to figure out what were the notes on the bass. I find that hard to believe, Kevin.
Kevin, until now also I'm still figuring out what notes on the bass.
I would like to learn bass.
So, Hannah, if you had a chance to collaborate right now with anyone of your choice, right? Who would you like to collaborate with? The first person on your mind.
Justin Bieber.
Wow.
I'm a big fan from young. Like, funny story, right? When I was young, I actually Googled for Justin Bieber's number. Don't do that.
And you called it,
I called it.
Did he answer?
Obviously not Justin Bieber answered, but someone else answered, and he was like, and I was like 8. Okay, I was 8, and I was like, "Hi, Justin Bieber, I love you." And then this guy was like, "Hi, I'm not Justin Bieber, but can I date you?"
Really? Wow.
Yeah. I was 8, and I was like, "No."
You're not Justin Bieber. If you were, I would.
And then I was
Hey,
like,
cannot lah, 8 years old. Hey, we cannot condone all these kinds of underage dating. All cannot.
So I ran, right, and I saw my dad. I'm like, "Dad, there's someone on the phone said he want to date me."
Does he know that you're the one who called the guy?
Yeah. After that, he was like, "Justin Bieber," because I saved that number.
Can I just know how much did that phone bill cost?
No, it was a Malaysian number.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Hello.
I didn't know because I was 8, so I didn't know that. Like when I was 8, I thought everybody had the same number, like +60.
Fair enough.
I was like, okay, thank God. Looking back at it, I was like, thank God it was not an international call.
Yeah, man.
But that guy wouldn't stop texting me. He was like, "Hi, I have a factory. I earned this much. Can I date you?"
Really? Oh, you should report that fella. You should report that fella because obviously the fella is a child groomer, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I already know that you're 8 years old, right?
Absolutely. Okay, Kevin says he volunteers to collaborate. If you ever are looking for someone to collaborate, go look him up because he's an amazing musician. He really is.
Please. How do I contact him?
He's taiko, okay? So he
man.
came like before me. And and he's still doing it. He's an absolute legend. So
his
definitely-
passion for music, is like amazing. So
Cool. Yeah,
he's one of the
don't
best
know.
bassists that I know lah. I mean, I still covered his bass.
And interestingly,
Wow.
you're not the first person to say that. I've heard a lot of people say that about him, and I'm so happy for him. I'm so proud of him.
We should have him on the show next lah. Then we can talk
Yeah,
about
we
stuff.
should.
Well, Kevin has been on the show before. He's spoken about a lot of things because he does a lot of festivals and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So, he's a man of many talents. Let's just say that. And Jay says, Kevin the legend. So true. Fool, Kevin, this show is pretty much about you, lah.
But yeah.
Okay. Hana, we've spoken about your song. Anything else about the song that you want to tell us that you haven't yet?
No, I think I've already said quite a lot already.
Okay, so since everybody's here and everybody's so amazed by your amazing talent and how, at such a young age you're doing so much, so much already, let's take a listen, okay? Let's preview your track.
Sure.
It's called You Rain right here on AFO Radio.
From the rising of the sun to its setting, oh Lord, you reign on high. The wind and waves obey your command. Oh Lord, you reign on high. There's no one like you, God, in all the earth. There's no one like you, God. And you reign, and you reign, you reign, and you reign, you reign, you reign, you reign, From the rising of the sun to its setting, oh Lord, you reign on high.
Cool.
Well done. Congratulations on the release of
Thank
the track. It's a really
you.
cool track to listen to. And I think we kind of need that little reminder every now and then to, remind us that there is someone looking out for us and there is someone that's going to take care of us as well,
Yes.
especially in this situation right now. So good job, Hannah. I'm so
Thank
happy for you.
you.
What did you feel, or what was it that went into you, or how did you feel when the song was first released, knowing that hey, this is my debut single?
I was in awe. I was like, it's out. I was like texting my best friend and my best friends, and I was like, oh my god, we've been dreaming about this moment, like singing, like when we had back before Corona, when we had sleepovers, they'll always ask me to have
Before
like
Corona,
new
it
before
sounded
Corona.
like this.
Yeah lah, now Corona cannot me also. So before like COVID happened, we used to have sleepovers. Then I would have like Austin, my digital piano, in my room. So we would like have mini concerts in my room, and then I'll be like showing them my songs, and then to finally releasing my first single. So it's been like a whole dream. Like I'm still on cloud nine. Like wow. Like I'm really grateful and thankful to all the people that have helped me. Shout out to CAA again, once again, for helping me. For all of my family and friends for being so supportive. It's been a dream. Like I keep telling Darren, I cannot believe it's out. Yeah.
Well, you believe it because it is out, and I'm sure there will be more that will be out soon. So
Yes, soon.
Yeah.
Very soon.
Jay says song so sedap, definitely,
Thank you,
and Kevin
Jay.
says great vibes. I
Thank
think
you.
done a fantastic job. Was it easy though? I mean, the fact that you worked on this song during a whole a program or a short course. If you didn't have to, do you think this would have happened?
No. If I didn't join this course, I wouldn't have been where I am today. So I'm really thankful that my family and God also pushed me to join this course. Because of this course, I got to meet people like Darren, people who have helped me along the way. If I didn't, I'll still be struggling to find who can help me produce and who can help me master it, who can help me. So now that I roughly kind of know how to produce myself as well, I think that's where I benefited most from the course. So yeah, that's it's been a blessing. The whole course has been a blessing. But yeah, it wasn't difficult. But of course, having to record a lot of vocals, it was a bit tiring. Then yeah, I would be up until like 3, 4, just singing and singing, finding different melodies to come up with. Or okay, how do I make this song? Because when you make a song, you want to make it sound different towards the second part. Like you don't want it to sound the same. So what can I throw in? What harmonies to throw in? Or what instruments can I take out? For the dynamics wise. So it went a lot into thinking as well. So it wasn't difficult, but it did get a bit tiring. But it was worth it.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
That's the
Very
beauty
nice.
about recording,
Yeah.
Like you just go on, and then you realize like, wow, so long already,
Yeah.
But it's all about that, it's song arrangement and stuff like that. Like at 19 years old, you're learning all these things, and doing it
Yeah.
yourself, and that's the best way to learn, really. So, you guys, like if y'all are looking to, produce your stuff, I mean, like self-producing music is not really that bad of a thing. A lot of like independent artists have been making music by themselves, and now it's just upping that skill level a little bit, to make sure that it's of quality lah, right? But if you are old school like me, you can produce at home and then after that go to the studio and do it properly. So and let somebody, a pro, who's been doing it for years, do the rest of the work lah,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what it
That's
is
the
lah.
beauty of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, are you working on anything else at the moment?
Yes, I am. I'll have a new release this Christmas. So stay tuned for that one. It's I think probably one of the best songs that I've done so far. It's my favorite one. So I'm
Cool.
really, really looking forward for you guys
Is
to hear
it a Christmas song or
It is very Christmassy. Very Christmassy.
Okay, she only said very Christmassy. That doesn't give us much.
Teaser,
It's like
teaser.
last Christmas I gave you my heart and then you broke
Something
it,
like that.
and or
Something like
or
that.
well, is it
But
another
it's more.
faith song?
No, it's not faith-based song. This one. This one is more. I actually wrote it in. I was inspired by all of the frontliners that cannot go home to see
Oh.
their like loved ones. So this song is for them. Like their loved ones are like, when can you come back home? And then they were
Right.
like, I'll come home soon. So that's what the song is about. On a Christmas
Wow.
day, coming home.
Yeah,
So that's
cool.
what it's
I mean,
about.
yeah, that's what I like about like Christmas songs. I mean, like the Christmas songs that are commercialized, like Frosty the Snowman, and stuff like that. I mean, those are songs that I used to hear when I was a kid, right? But then there's the more commercialized stuff. I mean, apart from that, traditional sounding songs like Mariah Carey, like All I Want for Christmas Is You, stuff like that. I mean, there's some kind of like theme to it, yeah, it's Christmas, but there's some like a story behind it as well. And that's what I actually like about Christmas. Because you get to write songs like that about coming home and being with your loved ones and stuff like that. There's just more meaning to it, right?
Yeah.
As compared to like the more traditional ones like the first Noel, and like stuff that you sing in like church. That's a different thing altogether.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for this Christmas track, and I hope that
I'm
it'll be a
excited
fun one.
too. It is.
Yeah,
It's
man.
gonna be fun. It is gonna be fun. It's a bit R&B-ish, so it is my
Yes.
favorite one so far that I've made. So I really, really cannot wait to release it.
Cool.
Okay, I think I'm super excited for it as well. So it looks like we've got another date come December, or rather, if we have a Christmas show where we have everyone put in a song, then you never know, we might hit you up again.
Can just put me up.
All right,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we've spoken to you about a whole lot of things, and I think it's about time for us to play our little game with you just before we let you go.
Cool.
It's called What's on Your Mind, and it's the first thing that comes to your mind when we ask you a question.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Ready.
She's
Alright.
so geared up.
Yeah, short
Okay.
questions, alright? I mean, but yeah, give us like your quickest answer, alright? If a
Is
book
there a
was
time?
No.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so if a book was written about your life, what would the title of the book be?
My name, probably. I don't know.
So it'd be Hana G.
Yeah, Hana G.
The
Okay.
life of Hana G. Oh,
Yeah, like Hana G. The life of correct. The life of Hana G.
okay, so
Behind the
now we know
scenes.
that you sing jingles, right? So if one day you walk into the studio and you
Mhm.
had to collaborate with one of your idols, who would
Okay.
that person be behind that door?
Oh, Yuna. I
Alright.
really, really love Yuna.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah,
Alright.
for sure.
Okay, the next question. This one I also want to answer, alright? If you won, okay? If you won $1 million, what would you buy?
A house for my mom.
Oh,
Okay.
nice. And
If
you'll
I
have
won
balance.
$1 million bucks, I'll pay off my credit card first.
I thought you was gonna say that you will buy like the whole guitar collection or
No
something.
lah, 1 million not enough to buy.
Oh yeah.
Now,
Some of them are
if
like
you had access to a time machine, where and when would you go to?
You mean if I could travel back in time?
Or the
I would
future.
really-
Or future?
Surely get out of this pandemic. Go to Switzerland maybe. Or if I would travel back in time, I would really like to visit the 1970s.
Why?
I love
Wow.
I don't know. I like the music back then, and
Yeah.
I just like it.
Very cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice. All
Meg, I want to ask you this same question. If you could
Yeah.
go, okay, okay, it's a two-part question, right? Same, if you could go back to the past, where and when, and if it's future, where and when? Because I have my answer already.
Wow, I've never thought about it. I ask people questions, but I don't think about the answers myself. I think I would go back to my early 20s. Actually, this is something I thought about yesterday because I was watching something on Disney and I realized that I never went to college. So, if I could go back, I started work at 19. So instead of starting work, I'd go to college because I kind of missed that part of my life where it's the part where you search for yourself, what you want to be and what you do. So I took on that responsibility at a very young age. So yeah, I'd go back to 19 perhaps.
All right.
If in the future, let's get out of here. Let's
Right.
go to where this pandemic ends so that we can go back to having holidays and traveling. I really need a holiday.
Right.
You see,
Same.
I thought of a loophole, you see. Because if you go to the future, you don't know, maybe the future is done, the end of the world, right? The world would explode, everybody would die of COVID or something, suddenly I don't know, double delta variant or something, I don't know, right? So I don't want to go to the future. I would just go to the past and then live through the entire time.
Again,
Yeah, for example,
you can correct what mistakes you've made.
Yeah, and then jump through time in the past lah, like immediate past would be 2019 or early 2020, okay? Because early 2020 before the lockdowns and all that happened, it was still kind of okay, right? But if I were to go back and live through that whole life, it would have been the 80s lah. It would be the 80s because I felt like the 80s had the coolest the most ridiculous fashion and hairstyles and music especially, and I want to be able to live through the whole glam rock era, because
absolutely,
there are not that many glam rock bands now, and even now they're like what 60, 70 years old, maybe a little bit older, and I would want to live through that, and to live through that, knowing that I have all the knowledge from the future and living in the past, right? But in Malaysia, you know what I mean?
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
That'd be interesting though.
That
So would
is.
you go back as yourself at this particular age?
Yeah. I would go back as
Okay.
myself at this age lah, and then live through that whole time. Yeah, I think it'd be quite cool because, I can, like, for example, places like Mima Land and all that, they are all just like fairy tales to me,
Really?
Yeah. Or like, like all these bands and that came in that started out in the 80s, and then there are bands, I mean not just bands, but there was this festival, that happened in the past, where it was called like the Woodstock of Malaysia or something like that.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah, and that happened, and I wanted to, I mean, it'd be cool because obviously there's no documentation, back in the day, like, apart from photos, there are no videos.
Yeah.
So these are all like cerita dongeng lah, you know what I mean? But I think it'd be cool to be able to live through that.
Absolutely. I think but you have a point though. What if we go to the future and we see that the future is really depressing and we're all dead and we're gone? So let's just stick to the past.
At least you can, the things that we wished we could have done, we could do it then,
Absolutely.
right.
And find like the right number to Justin Bieber instead of some weirdo on the other end of the phone, yeah?
Please, if you're watching this, do not do what I did. Please.
Well, Hana G, we've come to the end of the show already. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. It's been really fun. Before you go, would you like to say anything to your fans and our viewers watching right now?
Just want to say that you are loved and that you are cared for, and you're never alone. Don't be afraid to take chances. Don't have any regrets. Do what you are supposed to do. Do what you need to do. And if something's on your mind, just do it.
Nice.
Very nice.
So,
Perfect.
Thank you so much once again for joining us. I'm going to wish you all the best. We will catch up in December to see what you've got lined up. Yeah.
I'm excited. I had a
Till
great
then, you
time.
take care of yourself, yeah? We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
There you go, Hana G. So young, so talented, so much potential. potential. I wish I was that talented.
Yeah, man.
At
Well,
19, I started my first job, and
yeah, so you had to be an adult. You know, you're forced to be an adult quickly. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah, so I get that part, Like for
Yeah.
me, also, I went to uni, but I didn't go to a crazy uni. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
by the time I got to uni, I already knew what I wanted to do and stuff like that. But I didn't do all the crazy stuff, Like for example, like a lot of rich college kids that go to like Sunway and Taylor's, all these places. They do the fun stuff, I never did the
Yeah.
fun stuff. I was a total nerd. My focus was on, getting like 4 flat GPA kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I had music, right? So music was the thing that kind of like kept me occupied. But if I were you, I would actually want to go back, and try to like, go through college life.
Yeah.
Minus the
It
studying,
seemed fun.
just the fun stuff.
Yeah,
Minus the
exactly,
study.
right? Minus the study. You see, when I got a job, I was like, oh my God, I don't have to study anymore. That's amazing. And if I didn't get that job, I wouldn't be here today because it's all, fallen into place. So in a way, I'm grateful, but it's just that one part of life which I wonder what would it have been like, kind of thing. So,
Yeah. Well,
That's
but
what
it's
it
never
is.
too late to go through that college life lah. There's Wawasan Open University, so that one also can jalan
That's just the
lah.
studying part, no, Darren. You don't get all the fun part.
Well, I mean, I guess so lah. Yeah, because it's kind of like distance learning and stuff like that.
Correct, yeah.
But anyway,
Okay, so we're down to our final segment of the show. It's called Pop-Up Picks, and we've got a couple more to take a look at. New releases that have been dropped in the past week or so. So what do we have?
yep, let's check it out. Again, this is on a playlist called New Malaysian Releases. We have 2 more tracks that I want to share with you guys. There's actually another one by Lera, Elisa, and Joe. It's a brand new one called F Boys, okay, but I will not play it. Although there is a radio-friendly version called Bad Boys, all right. But then again, we'll just play you something else. This is I don't even know how to pronounce the person's name. It's like 0am, okay, and Chiu Rui, I think. It's called Disposable Boy. Let's check this one out. Wow, so 80s.
So Kento pop like singer.
Yeah, yeah.
Disposable boy in a disposable town. It's funny how badly I miscalculated your need for me. No, I'll have to revisit the same places he brought me to once, but it'll all be worth it for you. Take a snip at my heart, we can make it quick and easy.
Very cool. It's got this 80s, vibe, 90s-ish sound as well. It feels like a Spice Girl song. Yeah.
I don't know. I get a very Chinese song vibe from it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That too. All right. Okay, so the next one is by this band called Kabus, and this track is called Kill This Thought. I think the band has been around for a bit, but yeah, I've not heard of them before, but let's check it out. cool. I mean, it's a cool track. Reminds me of, like early 2000s, for some strange reason. But it's a cool track. They've got like Indonesian vibes and, modern alternative rock sound according to their profile. But yeah, it
sounds very indie, and you're right though. It does have the very early 2000s vibe. Very like, the early days of local. It depends maybe.
Yeah, correct. So that's kind of like the style in the earlier days of the explosion of the indie scene in Malaysia.
Correct, yeah.
But cool. Right. So yeah, that concludes pop-up picks for us this week, and picks for you guys to check out. And please go on, don't just check out those songs. There's a playlist full of 250 songs called New Malaysian Releases on Spotify. Everybody's on it right now, so go on, follow that playlist because it gets updated frequently. All right. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great weekend. And if you're an artist and you want to get on this show, or if your friend is an artist, or has some track out, want to get on air and talk about stuff, and drop us an email, popupstagemy@gmail.com. That's where it's at. And send us all your info and all that lah. Pretty straight up. So yeah, that's it from Mag and myself today. This is Pop Up Stage. Thank you.
Take care. Have a good weekend. Bye, guys.